Good evening, my fellow infected psychopaths. Today I'll be injecting you with the insanity that is my voice. Let's get started. Shut up!
Why is it madness? Wake up, you have any video to make.
Go away, Steve. I've been doing nothing but all-nighters, editing, and animation. I think I deserve a few minutes of sleep.
What about your responsibilities? You have a responsibility as a creator and a psycho.
Even psychopaths need sleep. Just wake me up after the montage, will you? Good night. What the hell, Steve? What? Oh yeah, right. This, my fellow infected psychopaths, is the Elite Mark II. This new handgun is designed to be lighter and smaller than its older, deadlier brother. This new handgun uses both old and new methods from my past previously made weapons, such as using copper tape and using sponge-coated flywheels. The gun uses 2 IMAR batteries. To house the IMAR batteries, I made my own battery boxes. The negative terminal has a bolt screwed in to make contact with the negative part of the IMAR battery. To make contact with the positive part of the IMAR battery, I used a bit of copper tape with some solder for easier contact with the positive side. When I was testing out the weapon, I noticed the flywheel motors will vibrate the IMAR batteries loose, shutting the gun down. To solve this issue, I used some elastic string. This method still allows me to remove the IMAR batteries in and out, that way I can charge the IMAR batteries when needed. The placement of the IMAR batteries also helps distribute the weight easily, that way it makes the gun feel lighter. The handgun also uses flywheel motors, which is a very common mechanism in a lot of my guns. For those who don't know or are new to the channel, flywheels are 2 motors with wheels attached to them that spin in one direction. When a projectile is pushed towards the flywheel will actually fling the projectile outwards. If this sounds familiar, not only do I use this in a lot of my LEGO guns, but it's also very common in a lot of Nerf guns. The wheels of the flywheel motors have a layer of sponges glued onto them, with another layer of duct tape for better friction. This is so the flywheels will actually grab onto projectile easier and fling outwards. The flywheels are wired to 2 switches. One switch is wired to the actual battery box. This is to act like a safety. And the other is a limit switch that's actually connected to the battery box and the flywheels. The benefit of the switch that's connected to battery box is the limit switch won't turn on the flywheels if the switch that's connected to battery box is turned off. This is why it acts like a safety. To save space, I used copper tape and soldered one of the limit switches leads to it. The trigger mechanism is a combination of my previously made two handguns. The lever mechanism from the heavy hitter and the gear system from my first elite handgun. Just like the heavy hitter, it uses the lever to push the projectiles from the magazine into the flywheels. However, unlike the heavy hitter, it uses the elite handgun gear system to move the lever. Let me explain. The backup trigger is designed to have a 2C gear-like shape. Within the gun exists a gear that also has a lever attached to it, and on that lever is attached a beam. When the trigger is pulled, the back end will move the gear, which will also move the lever, which will also move the beam that is responsible for pushing the projectile into the spinning flywheels, which will then fire the gun. On the back of the gun also exists some guide rails to help make it for a better connection with the gear to the trigger.
Distance is 15 feet or 4.572 meters.
So, Steve, since I got a new handgun, do you know what that means?
Let me guess. You're gonna shoot the shit out of me with your new handgun.
What? Don't be silly now. I'm gonna shoot the shit out of you with both my new and old handguns. Alright, my fellow infected psychopaths, let's talk serious for a sec. As much as I love making videos for you guys, as well as shooting Steve of course, I'm feeling a little burnt out, so I'm going to take 2 weeks of vacation. But don't worry, after that I'm going to come back and make more videos for you guys. But until then, make sure to like and subscribe, also hit or shoot the notification bell. Also, be sure to check out my social media pages. Link in the description, of course. Again, thank you for all who subscribe to me. But until next time, see you later, you psychopaths.
I've lost the answers when I thought I knew best. In this cold